Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us here at T3 11 News at 6. I'm Rolly Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard, joined by Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon. We've got a shot looking over Little Rock where a shower has popped up in the last few minutes, Tom.
Well, that's the best definition of it. A little pop-up shower over downtown Little Rock just in time for the evening rush. It has pretty much rained itself out, but this is what I-30 looks like. Westbound, eastbound traffic, you can see the roadways are wet. You may have a few delays. Your loved ones may not make it home on time for dinner, but they'll be there if they keep it slow, right? Here's what that shower looks like, the remnant of that shower on radar this evening. Let me get to radar. Come on, you can do it. There you go. This is over downtown Little Rock, and you can see that it is raining itself out. It was a quick hitter. It's dying out. There's not much more out there around the state. 1 or 2 showers remain. As soon as we lose the heat of the day, we will lose those showers. Little Rock is now down to 83. That shower brought some cloud cover and rain over to the Little Rock Airport, but still a lot of locations are in the 90s. Hour by hour forecast, we'll see skies clear out, muggy conditions overnight, lows in the lower 70s. We'll take a look ahead, got your weekend forecast, including the Razorback forecast, an update, a positive update in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Tom. We're following breaking news out of Pennsylvania tonight. 3 police officers are dead and 2 more are hurt after a shooting in York County.
Yeah, and authorities there tell us police went to serve warrants at the time. The governor recently spoke in Pennsylvania a short time ago. It's a developing situation. We're going to get you the latest details on air and online as we learn more.
School is back in session at Utah Valley University 1 week after the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Yeah, the university bringing mental health resources in for students, faculty, and staff. Earlier this week, workers replaced the concrete paving stones at the site of the shooting. And today, the local sheriff talked about the shooting suspect and described how a family friend and a retired sheriff deputy helped convince him to turn himself in. Tyler Robinson is being held on charges that include aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. Here in Arkansas, the Benton County Sheriff's Office investigating a video of what appears to be someone allegedly vandalizing a memorial for Charlie Kirk. We've got video posted by a justice of the peace on social media. It shows a person tearing and kicking at signs and candles at that memorial that sat outside the Benton County Courthouse in Bentonville. Another person is also seen in the video. It does not appear to do anything to the display. The sheriff's office up there says they've identified both individuals and they have an investigation running. Meanwhile, the Russellville School District is calling a special board meeting after an investigation into social media comments made by a school employee. The district called the post insensitive, says it does not, quote, reflect the values or meet the expectations of the Russellville School District. The issue will be discussed at a special board meeting next Thursday. And even though the meeting deals with a personnel matter, the district says that it will be open to the public. That meeting announcement comes on the heels of another investigation underway at UA Little Rock. School officials looking at the social media post made by an associate law professor in the wake of Kirk's death. Several state leaders, including the governor, sharing and pointing to those posts yesterday, calling for the university to fire that employee. Well, these investigations and others like them are happening across the country, and it has people asking the question, can free speech protect you from being fired? Marissa Sarbach with our sister station in Atlanta took the question to a First Amendment attorney and found out what's right employees and employers have when it comes to free speech.
I get a lot of phone calls. Hey, I said this, that violates my First Amendment rights. I go, well, that's an easy one. You have no rights.
Civil rights attorney Larry Pankey says if you work in the private sector, you really don't have any rights when it comes to sharing personal thoughts and opinions, even if it's off the clock.
A private employer, is really in business of making money. And if they feel that your behavior offline, on the weekend, on your own time, makes them look bad, they can choose to let you go and you will have no rights.
Especially in Georgia, an at-will state, meaning an employer can let you go at any time for almost any reason, except discrimination or retaliation. In fact, the only state in the U.S. that requires employers to have a, quote, good cause reason is Montana. The Dunwoody-based attorney says if you work for the public sector, like for the city or the state, you have a little more leeway when it comes to sharing your thoughts publicly, with one major exception.
They provide what they call a balancing test. While you are allowed and you have rights to engage in the First Amendment, if that right interferes with the government's ability to do its job, it will be outweighed possibly, and the government's right could take over and you could be punished, terminated.
Pankey says he's a huge proponent of public discourse, but if you are working, you need to be aware of the costs associated with it.
You can engage in public discourse, but you know that it's being recorded.
His advice for employees?
Remember your family and your livelihood. Is it really worth engaging with someone on the internet in an argument? If you truly value your job and you can't afford to lose it, sometimes the best thing to say is nothing at all.
As for employers in the private sector, Pankey encourages them to write their free speech policies in the employee handbook and have employees acknowledge and sign it when they're hired.
Arkansas farmers say they are struggling, and Arkansas's leaders in Washington say they want to help. THV 11's Carter 3 tells us what Senator John Bozeman is saying and why Central Arkansas farmers say they need Congress to hurry.
Farmers face a plethora of challenges these days. That could be anywhere from crop prices to input prices to weather.
Tyler Oxner knows what he's talking about. With the Arkansas Farm Bureau, he works with thousands of farmers every year. Of those challenges he mentioned, one stands out.
Input prices are going up steadily. Commodity prices just haven't been able to keep pace with those.
That means it costs more for farmers to produce their crops, but the money they get in return just isn't as much. Whitney Isbell Jones sees it firsthand, working at family-owned Isbell Farms.
A lot of farmers that we know and love that have farmed for years and that's all they've ever known are going out of business.
Isbell Jones says on the outside, her farm near England looks to be doing well. But if you look at the books and the money they're making, it'll tell a different story.
Rice prices are about 30% less than they were last year. So 30% is a lot. And that is something that we can't control whatsoever. And also what we can't control are our input costs. And we know that everything in the world is more expensive than it was a year ago.
I talked with Senator John Bozeman about what could be done. His office attended the meeting of farmers in Northeast Arkansas, and as the Senate's agriculture chairman, he pushed for policies to help farmers in President Trump's big, beautiful bill.
That's going to be great, but that won't kick in until about this time next year. So as a result of that, we're probably going to need to do something like we did last year.
He's referring to the billions of dollars Congress approved as economic assistance for America's farmers in December. He says whether that's the solution or something else, he wants it to come as soon as possible.
We're working with our fellow Congress people, making sure that they understand how difficult it is out there. We're blessed. The Arkansas delegation is totally on board. They're going to do whatever it takes in order to help our farm community.
In Lone Oak County, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Carter, thanks. And he mentioned that something else. Well, for years, Congress would deliver assistance through a farm bill, but they haven't been able to pass one since 2018. Bozeman said he doesn't expect to get one passed this fall either, and so they'll try to likely include support in another short-term fix.
Well, it's the end of an era. After 30 years, the Junior League of Little Rock is closing Holiday House for good. The annual event brought together hundreds of vendors from across the country to help Arkansans prepare for the holidays and raise money for Junior League programs. The organization says it now is transitioning to what it calls a new community engagement model that will help them make stronger connections with families here in Central Arkansas. You can learn more about the change and upcoming events on the Junior League's website.
So it's kind of like a big festive flea market, the holiday
For
theme.
Christmas,
Yeah.
yes. And look forward to it every year. We had an anchor here that would go out live every year to the Holiday House.
I love the Holiday House, so we love that.
We'll look for all those knickknacks in other spots and check out the digital version of the story to figure out what they're going to do to change that. Meanwhile, pro golfers and fans are taking over Northwest Arkansas.
And you'll tell us about the weather, Tom.
And I will. Here it is. Weekend forecast on the way. After the break, we'll discuss what your Razorback football forecast looks like for Saturday in Memphis. But here, partly cloudy and above average temperatures.